Hi everyone, I'm in my new flat. It's been a minute, it's been a while. I just wanted to, ooh, my leg's going dead. Oh, man. I've only been sitting on the floor for like 2 minutes setting up this camera already, like my legs. They're going dead, that's not good. I wanted to talk about self-doubt and writing or not writing when in self-doubt. I haven't written in months. I really haven't written in months. The last time I wrote was NaNoWriMo in November, and that was fiction. The last time I wrote a poem was before NaNoWriMo in November, and probably maybe the Camp NaNoWriMo before that is when I wrote my last poem. And that is a crazy long amount of time. And I find that when I don't write for this long, like, no good ever comes of it. It means that I'm in some kind of a slump, or like having like some kind of emotional, I don't know, response to life. Sometimes when I write, even though sometimes it's like crazy emotional if it's poetry, like if I'm writing something emotional, at least I know that I'm going through the motions and I'm kind of dealing with things that are happening in my life, and I'm moving forward regardless, because, you know, writing generally helps me to move on and forward. And when I stop doing that, I start to worry. And I've recently had a lot of self-doubt about my writing. After I wrote my piece in NaNoWriMo, I won NaNoWriMo, I had a big, like, what's it called? I can't remember the word of that thing. You know, after like you've done something, say you've been doing some crazy training for a month, really intense, out of your usual kind of schedule, and you feel really like after it's finished, you just stop completely for a long time, and then you're like, whoa, and you kind of have this kind of, it's like a feeling whiplash, like you've just like, whoa, just done this crazy thing, and then it's like silence, quiet, no movement. So I can't remember the word of what that is, like my brain is just farting right now. But yeah, like I had that, and from writing in NaNoWriMo, and so I didn't do anything for about a month, and then I got sick in the new year and I didn't want to write again, and since then I haven't written anything. I started bullet journaling, which was like a way of rechanneling my kind of creativity, I guess, and so I started that in January, and I kind of even fell off that like in the last couple of weeks, last month. I've kind of just been like about that too, and not wanting to do that, and I started a channel on it and Instagram, and I don't know, I just kind of got bored of it, and I find that that's a lot happening in my life constantly, and with writing, poetry, fiction, everything I do, I just YouTube, I just eventually just like get so bored of it, and I just don't want to do it anymore. And it's not necessarily I get bored of it, it's more like I'm doubting my abilities to do those things, and doubting myself and what I'm bringing to the table, and I just don't think I'm bringing enough. And so yeah, I just stopped doing it, because I feel like who wants to watch that, who wants to see that, who actually is interested? And I guess social media doesn't really help the way it's set up, you know, that you gotta spend all your time on social media to build anything nowadays. And it's really frustrating and annoying, because I'm someone who's like for the last year has been drawing back from social media and trying to like take myself out of that world, because I genuinely don't like social media. There are some that I'm okay with, but mostly like I don't like the way it's set up, I don't like the way it's meant to make you feel, I don't like the way it only rewards you if you are constantly on there, engaging, constantly spending all your time and energy and, you know, emotional responses and social brain, which you should be using to interact with real human beings. The only reward you get is if you're spending all of that, you know, limited amount of interaction on your social medias. And so I started to pull back, like from Instagram and Facebook, especially Facebook. Oh man, Facebook. Like I've been wanting to leave Facebook for a long time, but I've just kept holding on because of like my YouTube channels, and I was just like, and my friends who live all over the world, and it'd be really hard to keep in contact with these people without it. So I've kind of just kept it there, but you know, there comes a time when it's just like, it is what it is. If you want to interact with people, if you want to keep in touch, you'll find a way one way or another. You don't have to use a social media to do that. And writing's always something I've loved and that's brought me joy, and I don't know, it's been weird, like a weird transition. I've been Go away, sirens. I've been very on and off for it, with it for a long time, and I've always kind of been that way, but I've never felt bad, like, when I've stopped, really. I've just stopped because I've had nothing to say, or because I just don't feel like writing. But now I'm like stopping because I don't think what I'm writing is worthwhile, which is bad. And so with NaNoWriMo, the project I just did, like, I've never done, like, I don't really read this genre a lot. I don't write in this genre ever. And I felt like it was, I don't know, it's really weird. It's like I wanted to edit it and I wanted to like go over it and fix it and make it great. But then I realized I know nothing about this genre, and it was really weird that I decided to do it. I mean, I came up with it very last minute, you know, because I didn't have any ideas, and like the night before I just like, this could be a cool story to tell. And so I told the story, and I was just like, it's a really cool concept, but I don't know nothing about the genre, and I felt like it's probably shit. For sure it's shit. How could it not be when you don't read in the genre and you don't write in that genre? I just felt like it's probably the biggest cliche there's ever been, which, I don't know, I don't know. I think there are elements of it that are really great, and there's like, I'm sure there's a story in there to be told, but I'm sure that story has been told a million times. Like, the law of averages tells me that someone else who knows the genre probably has come up with this, or maybe everyone's avoided it because it's so cliche. So yeah, I've been a bit self-conscious about that because I don't really want to re-entertain that story. I don't know why, it's weird. But it's like my first completed project in a very long time, and I feel like I should give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I just need to put it aside and start something new, but I want to at least give it a chance to live somewhere, you know? But I just kind of wanted to come on here and talk about my self-doubt and not wanting to write because I feel like I have nothing to say, or like what I say is not worthy of being said, and no one wants to hear it. And I shouldn't think that. I should be more like writing for myself and writing for what I want to hear and not for the public. But when you're on YouTube and when you're on Instagram and when you're like out there with yourself and your work, it's hard to not think about the other people on the other side of the screen who may one day be seeing it or reading it. And I kind of feel like I'm missing a piece of what I used to have when it was just me and my words, you know? So, and I don't think I could ever go back to that. I can, I'm sure, like if I become a recluse and live in a little farm cottage in the middle of nowhere with no internet, but that's not gonna happen anytime soon. I live in London, so I live in London in the middle of the city. Like, there is no escape. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to talk about how I was feeling. Do you have any of these feelings? I'm sure everyone doubts himself once in a while, but have you ever doubted yourself so much that it's like giving you the fear of God, has thrown the fear of God into you to not write like almost ever again, for like months on end? I remember the last time I had a massive break like this, like in writing, where I didn't write for over a year, and that was a bad time. And that's why I'm kind of worried that I'm going down that same kind of route with my writing, and I don't want to be there. But I think after this I'm gonna write a poem, and I'm gonna journal, and I'm gonna edit some videos and hope that it kind of lights something in me again. But I'm sure there's loads of underlying problems and reasons as to why I feel this way, and I just kind of have to figure those out, I guess, to get anywhere. But yeah, if you have any words of encouragement, of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, please comment them below, because I'd love to hear them, so that I can feel, I don't know, me again and move forward. Yeah, just, you know, sometimes it just takes like one sentence from one person to just be like, this makes so much sense. Oh, why didn't I think of this? But yeah, anyways, bye guys. I will see you again soon for another video. Yeah, bye bye.